Welcome to Hold On to Your Butts, a Jurassic Park Rewatch podcast about how the biggest show on Earth lost its bite. I'm Paul.
I'm JD.
There's a new Jurassic Park movie coming out this summer. That's why we're doing this. The 7th one. A lot of people don't know there's now going to be 7 movies in this franchise.
Oh my God.
2 books.
Did you realize
2
that?
seasons or
7
2
movies?
different cartoon series?
Are they based off of... Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah.
Yes, you are
Okay.
definitely allowed to talk.
Sorry, I didn't
introduce you in a
introduce
second.
myself. I
Katie
didn't know.
Bowman, everybody.
Katie
Local
Bowman.
comedian.
I
She's
didn't know
our
if I
guest.
was supposed to introduce myself or whatever.
No, you're not.
Just give us a quick bio.
No,
JD
you're
and I
good. Just
didn't
tell us about your Jurassic
Local
Park.
comedian, new special out, Neurodivergent Nightmare on YouTube. Check it out. We're going to put a link in the show notes.
Yeah,
It's very
check
funny.
out my album if you want to watch it on YouTube. I don't have a YouTube following, and I posted it, and it's depressing because I don't have a YouTube following. So it's okay, but it's dirty too. So it's YouTube.
Smash that subscribe button on Katie's profile.
Yeah, but definitely listen to it. Buy it if you want to. No one buys albums these days.
You have albums? Do you have physical albums?
It's a physical album. It's an
That's-
album first,
that's
and
where
then
all your
YouTube
money's
special
going.
second.
Did you
Oh,
print it on
interesting.
vinyl?
I did not print
vinyl.
it just because I don't think I have that following of like people that like
I get
would
that.
buy a physical album of mine that's like
But you put it on a CD?
I mean, I'm not buying shit from the people I
could
love.
still put it on like anything, I guess.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
but
you had
it's,
physical.
you can download it and buy it on Bandcamp or Apple, and then it's like streaming on Spotify and everything. So it's like I produced the album with Burn This Records, which is a punk rock label
Mhm.
out of Los Angeles, and then I got footage because why wouldn't you?
Mhm.
And I put it on YouTube, and I mean it's like almost a 5K, but it's
The
nothing.
YouTubes.
YouTube, hell of a
But-
website, but we're not here to talk about YouTube. We're
Yeah,
here to
okay.
talk about Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. So 7 movies. That's exhausting.
It's a lot of movies now.
That is a lot of movies. It's kind of like a Fast and Furious.
What is your relationship with this franchise?
Okay, honestly, love the originals, and
Mhm.
I thought
All
the
3?
Wait, okay, what, did I see 3?
See, this is the thing with Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic. This is how we got started this podcast. I was like, I love Jurassic Park, and then I misquoted one of the most famous things about it.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I was like, I think I've seen some of most of the movies. I don't know if
I
I've
think
seen
I've
all
seen
the
definitely
movies.
like wait. So there's one. It's been a long time though since I've seen anything but the first one. I've rewatched the first one a lot.
I
And
mean,
the one
that's
we're
the
talking
one.
about today. Fallen
And I
Kingdom.
just watched the one we're talking about today, and I have opinions.
Yeah, all right.
Can't wait to get into
But
it.
yeah,
Can't
your
wait to get
history
into
with
it.
this. You like the originals. You think you like the originals.
I mean, I love the original, and I guess I don't remember the other.
Pop quiz. Do you remember a single thing about Jurassic Park 3?
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one. I think I just
There we
thought there. I
go.
thought there were 2. I just thought there were 2, and I
well,
can't
I
even
hate
remember.
the third one. The third one is
What?
Hate?
excruciating to me. I thought it was
Wow.
painfully dull.
Jeez.
Oh man, that's
We talked about all
Yeah.
the humor in it.
Mm-hmm.
um.
William H. Macy.
What happens in 2 again?
Well,
Well, they
tell
go
us
to
what
the
you think
islands
happens in
and
2.
then
Oh my God, I
dinosaurs get
can't.
loose.
Oh yeah, the dinosaurs get loose.
That's all of them. Yeah, no, the 2 is like they're Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum is the lead,
Yeah.
and he gets called back because there's a different island and
East
there's
Losona.
like his girlfriend is there and he gets kind of tricked into going back, and then there's some military guys that he
they're
goes
always
with
getting tricked into going back.
constantly.
Happened in this movie.
It's seven times they have been tricked into going back now.
Well, they weren't tricked to go, but they were misled on whether they'd come back or not.
But that is,
Yeah.
that's getting tricked to go.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, stop going to the damn island. There's dinosaurs
So
there.
is this ringing any bells, Katie? Are you
Oh
thinking
my
these are
God.
not?
You know
or no?
what? I'm sure I saw it, but I have so much childhood trauma. Just kidding.
Do you remember?
From
Do you remember?
dinosaurs.
Do you remember the T-Rex in San Diego? Is that ringing a bell at all? In rampaging through the streets
Oh
of
my
San
God,
Diego.
no.
This
What
is
about-
the end of the Lost World
What
Jurassic
about
Park 2.
pterodactyls?
Okay, so yeah,
Taking a
I think
kid.
I've only seen maybe. You know what?
Parasailing.
I'm pretty sure that I saw that. Like
I'm
I'm
pretty
sure
sure I
it's
saw
been
one
on.
of
But
them.
here's the thing. Like I mean, you know me and movies. Like I have a joke literally about how I'm rewinding them all the time now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brad has a joke about how I like zone out of
Her
movies.
boy,
This
Like,
is
for
your
the audience.
Oh, yeah, this is my
boyfriend,
Palatine.
long time.
It's my dad. We live together still. Just kidding. That's really common. It's not. You do you. But
It's okay to live with your dad. All right, it's okay.
Hey, I'd
it's
say
like
your
a
dad
lot of
lives
my
with you.
clientele.
Okay?
What'd you say?
I'd say your dad lives with you, not the other way
Oh
around.
yeah, yeah. He lives.
Anyway, We were talking about
multi-generational households should be normalized.
movies. They're hard. It's hard to remember
it is
these
actually
movies.
like way more normal in other countries too.
Yeah.
It is. And like a lot of my clients, they all live together and they like it a lot anyway.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Bringing dinos. They're getting loose again.
Yeah, so
They're always
like my
getting loose.
memory, the first one I've seen it so many times. And then I think about the second one and the third one. I'm like, yes, I've probably watched them, but was I like fully checked in?
Yeah.
Who knows? Because
Because
the
you can't recall
ADHD.
anything we're throwing at her.
Well, and I was getting highly abused. No, I'm just
Okay. Just high, mostly.
but there is like science about children. Like I like, there is some family trauma, but like you don't remember things from your childhood, and they allot it to like CPTSD and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so apt. Like
Just to bring it back to the
Jurassic
movies.
Park.
I mean, these movies all feature kids going through very traumatic
Yeah, they probably
situations.
don't remember any of it.
Yeah, they probably don't. They
I mean, I
probably
only
don't.
remember
That's why
the
they
most.
keep getting tricked going back. They're like, oh yeah, there were rides.
I had a great time on that island, I think.
Yeah.
I only remember the traumatic parts of my childhood. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, Paul, go for the theme
So
song.
do I.
The theme
I-
song.
that's
So I'm gonna say,
actually-
what do you mean you're forgetting?
Like I remember the horrible things, and then I think about these like movies, even the movies that triggered me. Like I remember the triggering
Yeah, your dad's
parts.
like, yeah, I beat you, but then we went and saw Jurassic Park. Don't you remember that more? Anyway, sorry, Paul. Go
Yes.
for it.
I don't
The
have
official intro into the.
after Neela
you were doing
Picaric
Joss.
did one last
Well, yeah,
time.
that was
she
great.
friggin' blew. I mean,
Yeah, that
I
was
can't fault
She's a professional
T-Rex.
singer.
Wait, what?
T-Rex.
Who did what?
T-Rex
They're doing
coming to bite your face off.
Boom.
What's your best
that's my-
dinosaur
that's my
T-Rex
whole
impression? Can you guys each do?
Well, I
Okay.
do the Raptor.
No voice.
This is it.
Let
This is what I
Paul's
got.
doing.
me see if I can do it. That was
This is
pretty
cool.
good,
This
right?
is a Velociraptor. Yes.
That was a Velociraptor. Okay, like
In
what
the third
is-
one, they kind of
like
have
a-
more of a seal thing. They're like, "Arr, arr."
There's
Arr.
like the long neck. That was the I cried. I was like,
The
why am I
Brachiosaurus, you mean?
crying about this long neck? I know. I don't know the
That's probably my hold on to your butt moment of the movie. Just so we.
that part of the movie. I was like, God, they take
We'll
the
get
most.
there.
They
We're
take the
gonna-
most
we're gonna-
gentle one.
We're gonna- there.
Yeah.
Okay,
And apparently
that we
that's
know
supposed to
of.
be the same brachiosaur they saw in the very first Jurassic Park movie.
Okay, that
Did you
makes
get that,
me-
Paul?
Of course I got. I
Okay, good.
recognize
Wait,
that
what is this
exact time.
timeline? How many years do these dinos?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's talk
it's
about it.
a real
We're going to talk about
timeline.
the plot of the movie now. We watched Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, aka JP5, aka JW2. It was released in
FK.
2018. JW:FK.
Thank you.
It was released in 2018. The director is J.A. Bayona, a Spanish horror director. Not Colin Trevorrow, who did the
Who
first
did
one.
the first Jurassic
Him
World.
and his partner, Derek Connolly, they wrote the first one. They wrote the second one. Trevorrow was going to do it, but then he got a bigger job from
Ooh.
the secret main character of our whole podcast, Kathleen Kennedy, one of the producers of the original three.
Mhm,
She got the
mhm.
job at Lucasfilm, famously, to run the Star Wars sequels for Disney. She hired Trevorrow to work on what would become episode 9, but then it was a huge problem. So Trevorrow didn't work on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom because he was doing Star Wars episode 9,
that he ended up.
That he ended up
J.J.
getting
Abrams
fired
ended up
by.
coming.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
which was
Oh
a
my
huge
God.
disaster.
Great move, Kennedy.
Yeah, so anyway, they got this guy, J.A. Bayona, to do it. And I mean, spoiler alert, I thought he did a great job. And this movie ended up being a pretty big success. $1.3 billion at the box office on a $432 million budget.
I want to keep those numbers in mind for later. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I wanna bring up some
Dang,
numbers.
People
We're gonna
like
put a
love
pin in that.
dinosaurs.
They so do. And yet, not culturally relevant, in my opinion.
What are you
That's my
talking about?
thesis.
Dino gummies.
Not
you
like
want
the
us some
90s.
Dino gummies?
What
we
are
got
these?
Mother's Dino.
Oh, they're like little cute cookies.
Yeah, try some. They're chocolate.
Oh, we got. What do you think these sound like?
That's what they sound like.
It's pretty good.
So how can you say they're not culturally relevant when they're in our food?
Yeah, I mean, the company is definitely wants us to like buy the products, you know.
So what do
Universal, and they have all
They're
the
also-
consider culturally relevant?
They're under attack right now. People don't
dinosaurs.
believe that dinosaurs even existed.
what? Who?
Yeah,
Religious
a lot of
people.
like QAnon and
Flat earthers.
Part of QAnon is that dinosaurs didn't exist.
I'm pretty sure it's QAnon. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, what do you want me to look up? Who
I've
thinks
had
dinosaurs aren't real?
conversations with people. I've been in smoking circles where
Like
we're all
real live human
and I'm
people.
like, this is so cool. They found this dinosaur. They figured out it had feathers on it. And someone's like, I don't believe in that. And I was like, what?
What's happening with the world?
I know.
Dinosaurs were real, people. It was a real thing that happened on the
It is funny
planet.
that they are like the most closest thing to like fantastical stuff that we have. And so we have to be like, they're real.
Well, I know a lot of
You gotta
religious
zoom in on my
people think
face. They're
that
real.
dinosaurs didn't exist, that they're plants from the devil to get us to not believe in Jesus Christ.
And then there's like a whole other side of that where they're like, yes, they were real, but we existed with them and we were riding them like horses. Okay.
I don't know if anyone thinks that.
That's not, wait,
Well,
is that Scientology?
We're running in different circles, Paul.
Well, we're talking
Okay,
about
I
pop. We're
guess
talking
so.
about it being culturally relevant.
I guess so.
I'm telling
I
you,
don't
these
know.
are the dinosaur stories of our times.
Okay, yeah,
This
Paul, what do
is-
you consider, what does it have to do to be culturally relevant to you? Does everyone
is
have to be able to
Saturday
say,
Night Live
I
gonna
can
do a
name all of
sketch?
them?
Is Saturday Night
Oh.
Live going to do a sketch
I'm
about
sure
the
they've
new
done
one?
plenty of
Let's
them.
manifest it.
Yeah,
Did
dude,
they
because
do one
Colin
about Dominion?
Jost is married to Scarlett Johansson and she's in the new one. Of course they're going to do a crossover.
Oh, she's in the new
Same
one.
parent
Yeah.
company.
She's such a hottie. I'm in.
Thank you. I
Even
mean,
though
that's
I
what
know
they're
she's a
counting on
little
America saying.
complicated.
That's
She's a
what
little-
they want America to say.
I think America will
I
say
love
it.
her, and then I'm like, why'd you do that? You know, like it's like don't do Ghost in a Shell. But
Have you? Is Ghost in the Shell not good? I've been wanting to watch it.
I mean, I did watch it because
She can't remember
Just
anything.
ScarJo, she's great.
the whole time I was like, isn't this supposed to be an Asian person? And then, but she did okay. I mean, I don't know much about the original like cartoon
anime?
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, but then I'm like, Her was great. And so
So
was
good.
Under the Skin.
Her, so good.
Okay, Under the Skin is so good. It made me have like a
Ugh.
panic attack in the middle of the movie, and I was just like, like,
Yeah.
because I mean, JD, I think it's too bleak for you.
I
but
mean, I couldn't. This is as scary as I want to get with a movie, to
Yeah,
let
there's
you know.
that
Because
part-
Katie and I used to do a horror movie I used to produce a horror movie
just
podcast
bringing
for
it
Katie
back
Bowman.
to horror right now.
Yeah,
No,
that's
just
why I was
kidding.
like, we
won't,
got to
won't.
get Katie on
But
for this
ScarJo's
one.
pretty like, and then also
ScarJo's good.
Ghost World. Ghost
World good.
She's done some really
A lot
good
of
Lost in
independent movies.
Translation.
A lot of ghost
I
things
remember,
related to
Katy Perry
ScarJo.
taught us that like
Katy
rich
Perry.
people
Even women
are
can go to space.
complicated. But yeah, like it's like
Feminism.
there's parts of people once they get famous, you're like, oh, you don't think about what you do as much. You just take roles and stuff. And
Katy Perry just went to space.
Katy Perry's like, I'm gonna go to space. People were just on her side because of Russell Brand. They were like, look how he treated her. And then she was like, yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna go to space.
And I killed a nun.
Okay, did she kill a nun?
I've heard.
I've been seeing
I heard
that.
that she was
I was like,
involved
is this
in
clickbait?
the murder of a nun. Anyway, okay, we're
With a
gonna.
dinosaur.
What are we
Okay.
talking about?
Sorry, I have ADHD.
yeah,
We
so-
gotta reel it back in.
Paul.
The plot of the movie.
Well,
so
so
we did the
people have to
plot.
be able to. It has to be on SNL for you to think it's culturally
I
relevant.
guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I want to hear.
See, I
Conversation
don't
about
think
it.
SNL's culturally relevant anymore.
Yeah, not the way it once was.
I'm just
Ow.
kidding. Whoa, that was such a burn.
Hot take.
I was just kidding, but I do, and you know what's funny? Some of my
Are you kidding?
favorite people independently are on the show right now. Like Sarah Sherman's such a fan. You know what I mean? But like the show
You're
itself.
coming from different angles on me. I don't know what to think here.
Well, the pop.
No, we're trying
being
to tell you you're
socially
wrong.
relevant.
I guess so.
I just wouldn't use SNL as like the cultural.
Yeah.
What's trending right now? But you know what? Everything is kind of online now too. Like,
Yeah. Well, are the
More
TikTok
than
kids
TV,
doing
more
China
than
stuff?
TV.
True.
Until there's a dino dance on TikTok.
But you're right. SNL does do topics each week on like what's trending and stuff.
They
So-
do. They do.
Yeah, I think this is only pointing out
It's
you
a
need
barometer.
to define your standards, Paul, before we
I will.
keep
Next episode?
blaspheming.
I'll have my standards for you.
Okay.
So the plot.
Yeah,
Plot
so
of the movie.
this is supposedly the Jurassic Park's attempt at a horror movie. I watched this whole thing. J.A. Bayona talks about it being a horror film.
Mhm.
And all the special features he talked about when he thought about the first Jurassic Park movie, he thought about the terror of seeing these dinosaurs and being attacked by them. So that's what he was trying to recreate. And then he drew a lot from Dracula, a lot from Nosferatu. in
I
this
can
film.
see that with the like grabbing of her hair.
There's a lot of
100%. The claws,
A lot
the
of
shadow of the
claw
claws
stuff.
was like, wow, straight out of Nosferatu.
I know. I thought we could have turned it up a little more, but I do see, and also the like opening scene where they're like, "There's everything's dead in here, dude. Don't worry about it."
Opening kill. It opens with a kill and awesome Jurassic Park logo back with the lava flowing over it.
Extremely cool.
You're like back to basics.
I was locked
and
in.
you think that guy's gonna get out, and then he so doesn't.
the guy
Which was a
who
pretty
so
classic
there's a
Jurassic
guy
Park.
at a computer. They're on the
he
pier
opened up
of
the
Isla
gates to the
Nublar.
Mosasaurus so that they could get the
Yeah,
submarine
and
in
you're
there.
like, "Oh, he's free," and then it's like that, like
the
nature
Mosasaurus.
moment of like, but there's something bigger coming.
That's best dino action right there for me.
I have
Best
to
dino
agree.
action first scene.
There's some good
Yes.
dino action later on in the climax in the haunted house portion of the film, but yeah, the first scene was like, it grabbed me. It grabbed me like a steel grip, and I was
Me
in.
too. I was
I
like,
loved it.
ooh. I remember being a kid and watching the first one. Like that was like the feeling that it gave me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So the premise of the movie is 3 years after Jurassic World has a big problem and dinosaurs get loose, the hero, Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays Claire, she has become a dinosaur advocate, sort of like a conservationist type, an environmentalist perhaps, which
It's like pro-life for dinosaurs.
pro-dinosaur life. The Dinosaur Protection Group, I think is the name of the
She's
group.
also introduced by another coming down the elevator scene. This happened in the first movie. And in the first one, they established she's a no-nonsense boss bitch, all right? And in this one, she's like, now I'm softer. Now I'm getting things done, but for good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. She
Yeah.
learned her lesson in the first one.
But did she? Because she's trying to save a species that shouldn't be here. You know?
Well,
Do you really believe
that's
that?
the
That's
question.
what I'm thinking,
That's
too.
an interesting question.
I mean, I feel like it's got such like pro-life abortion underlying tones throughout the whole movie that I'm like, how are they
Interesting.
they're weaving this in with dinosaurs?
It was. I agree. It was
It's
very. It was very
it's
compelling.
so culturally
Should
relevant.
these
You
dinos
I
can't-
was
exist?
like, should these dinosaurs exist? And then at the end, well, we won't. Or we got to move through the whole thing.
You can jump around.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
the end when she's like, I'm alive, so they get to be alive.
You're talking about Maisie, the
yeah, and I'm
clone
like,
girl.
that's not. They're not supposed to be here, you know. And I
Maisie
love that there's
Lockwood.
just like a tired Jeff Goldblum, like, we shouldn't do this.
Do you think that the little girl shouldn't be here?
No, like she's like, she's like, they deserve to be here because I'm here. Remember, she
Yeah.
says that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
do
I'm
you
following
think
the
the little
logic.
girl
The
should
logic-
be?
well,
You're
her
saying the
logic-
dinos shouldn't be here.
That's the thing is that she is on a timeline of biology. These dinosaurs
she?
are brought back.
She'll
from,
die.
But I'm saying humans are still existing. Like,
She's
sure,
a
she can
clone.
be here.
Okay.
It's her choice, like her mom's choice
No, it wasn't.
to be here. And
It was her grandfather who cloned
wait, she's
his
a
daughter.
clone?
Yeah, she's
Yes.
a clone of the
Wait a minute, I
Lockwood's
missed
daughter.
that
That's what the
part.
line
Did you?
means.
Wait, how did I miss that? So she's a clone.
She's a clone of the yeah.
Okay, no, then she shouldn't be here either. Oh my god! What
Katie
in the
was-
Westworld? How did I miss that?
Also, Michael Crichton.
I know,
also
I
Michael
know,
Crichton.
Do you
I
think it
know.
was clear
Good
enough?
tie-in.
But
What, that she was a clone?
Yeah, that she was a clone
Yeah, I
of
think it was
the
clear.
Lockwood's daughter.
Personally, I do, yeah.
that's so funny. I had no idea she was a clone, or I
Yeah.
like missed it.
And
When did they
apparently, if you
announce
go
that?
back, when the Grandpa Lockwood dies, he has that like notebook he's been carrying around and looking
Yeah.
at when he's going to bed, and she keeps trying to like see what's in it. And then
Mhm.
when he dies, she takes it and she's hiding in that dumbwaiter.
Mhm.
And she looks at it and she opens up and it's a younger picture of her nanny with a young version of her mom. And so they're like,
Oh,
and
See,
then they
I'm-
talk about it later. The bad guy's like, she's a clone, you idiots. He's
That's
saying
right.
that to
That's right.
Chris
Sorry,
Pratt.
I was like also working on some art watching this.
All right,
I missed. Damn. See, this is what Brad has a joke about, where he's like, she misses sometimes big details, and it's a very funny joke.
So
I don't
do you-
know, but
Well, this is something Paul and I are constantly talking about. Is like I'm going to Jurassic Park for dino action.
Yeah.
That's why I like the third one because it's a smaller story just about getting away from dinosaurs. Where he likes the bigger picture.
I like the big ideas.
He likes the big ideas. This is a bigger idea. Is
This
this
is a
something?
huge
Are you
idea.
into this?
I fucking.
This is what you're
This
into.
was so good for me.
You come to Jurassic Park for life,
Yeah.
human rights, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, chaos theory, cloning, genetic manipulation,
the cloning stuff always makes
conservation,
me so sad.
all of this stuff was like fascinating to me. For me, the Bryce Dallas Howard years, I refuse to call them the Pratt years. This is the Bryce Dallas Howard trilogy to me is surpassing the originals. I love these new movies.
They really kind of like minimize Pratt's role in this, which was kind of nice too. I was like,
yeah. It's her movie. It's her movie for sure. It is so her movie.
It's her movie. He's still in it because there's a portion of people that really like him. I'm really mad at him from all the stuff I've been seeing.
What's the thing that makes you most mad at him?
Well, he is pro-life.
Okay.
But also we only hear people are dissecting this in a weird way, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt to defend himself, but he hasn't. But the whole thing about his son who's disabled, and then he's like he kind of is like more focused on his new family, and he's like, thank you for giving me a healthy son, when his like old son was like not healthy. I mean, they're both sons, but
his previous son, the son with the previous
marriage, with Anna Faris, and there's some stuff about how that didn't end well. And then I heard that he was like kind of a creep on the set of Parks and Rec. Sorry to say it. But
can we pause for some reason? This camera has stopped working, Katie. Sorry.
All right. And we're back. Some brief technical difficulties.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're back on it.
We had a little dino attack in here.
It's all my fault.
Yeah, you attacked Chris Pratt. No more talking bad about Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah, Chris Pratt.
His people, his management
I heard
team
he was a creep on,
Parks and Rec.
Yes, which is sad. It's sad to hear. It's a bummer to hear that.
All right, back to your summary here. You're doing such a good job, Paul.
Thank you. I think I got through the first 5 minutes.
I'm just in the cut today.
Cool with him
you're in the cut today.
We're cool with his plot. He's kind of buffoonery in this, and that's cool. Chris Pratt. Yeah, and we're cool with it.
Oh, you think? He's not as like the cool guy, like I'm taming raptors, and I mean, I guess he's
a cool guy.
He's kind of more in the cut in this movie, don't you think?
That he's what?
More in the cut in this one because he's not as actively training the raptors, doing like
he's along for the ride. He doesn't really want to be there. Yeah. So the whole premise is Bryce Dallas Howard is running this dino like at rights group, and then she gets a call from some rich dude who owns a big scary mansion up in the mountains. Should have been a clue. He's maybe a bad guy. But this guy says that he wants to save the dinos from the volcano that is going to erupt on Isla Nublar, where all these dinos that were in Jurassic World have now just been taken over the island, and people are arguing. And there's a chyron on the screen on the BBC that says U.S. President questions existence of dinosaurs in first place, which I thought was a funny detail.
Yeah.
But then Bryce Dallas Howard is convinced to accompany this rich guy's expedition back to the island to save the dinosaurs, is what she thinks is happening. And she says, Chris, I need you. I need your help to do it. And this sets up the first half of the movie.
They split up from the first movie, just so you guys know. Because at the end of Lost World, it's implied that they get together.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this one, they are broken up, and Chris Pratt is trying to build a cabin in the woods.
The most beautiful spot in the mountains, in front of a lake.
Yeah.
A vista, gorgeous, looked like Colorado.
To build his compound.
It did look like Colorado.
I don't know how you all felt about that. That felt like...
Yeah, I was curious on where it was. I guess it's in California.
Wasn't?
I think that's where most of it takes place.
Is that what they're saying? Okay. That would make sense too, I guess. But yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, good for him. I don't know how he got that land.
His military stipend. And I'm sure he was able to...
From the disaster.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched something. They said that Masrani Corp had to pay $800 million in lawsuits.
Yeah, that was in the movie. I was like, that seems low. There were thousands of people and like a lot of deaths.
$800 million is not a lot?
It's a lot, but like thousands of people, that if each one of them gets $1 million.
How much was this?
How much is a single death?
This costed half of that to make this movie. Well, $432 million.
A different situation. I mean, we're talking about people who think that are at a theme
I just
park.
Think the numbers are all over the place with this movie.
They are all over the place. I don't know who thought this stuff through, but I thought that was low personally. But $800 million, maybe he got some of that money to buy some of this land where he's building his shack. He begrudgingly accepts the call to adventure that Bryce Dallas Howard gives him. The girlfriend always
brings, the reluctant guy back into the island.
Yep.
Because that's how they got Jeff Goldblum to come back to the island in the second movie.
Right.
The Lost Worlds, Jurassic Park.
JP2, a.k.a. TLW, JP.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
Of course, my pleasure.
And in this one, she gets Chris Pratt to come back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
They meet up with the nerd guy played by Justice Smith.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to be Jake Johnson from the last movie, but
Really?
is now replaced by him. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought he was great. I liked Justice Smith. I don't know if you all have any relationship with that guy, but I am always excited when I see him in a movie.
I saw special features where he was always carrying around a ukulele. I guess apparently he's the guy who carries around a ukulele all the time.
He was going method for being a nerd.
Was he holding it like
no,
this?
I think, he was a little bit, yeah.
Like he's holding it like he's going to beat you with it?
And then at the end, he sings a whole song about his experience on Jurassic World.
Wow.
Does that sound charming to you? I thought it was insufferable.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is the kind of guy I would hate in theater. I'd be like, all right, you're not getting enough attention being in this movie, guy. You got to fucking bring your ukulele everywhere. That's that's the cynical comic in me.
Yeah.
That is, I'm just trying to picture like the setting that he's saying this
They're
song.
in the jungle. Like it's like the day he rapped. It was like his last scene, and after he rapped, he's got his ukulele. He's like, I want to do a song.
Mm.
Okay.
And guess what? Hate you, bro.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I want to hear the song, kind of.
I do too.
I have to go to the.
See if I can
find it on.
We'll drop it in. We'll drop it into the
worry.
episode. Listeners are going to hear it, and they're going to love it, and we'll hear it later.
I'm like working out to it. No, I'm just kidding.
So they go back to the island. There's some other people on the team, including a big tough guy, a Muldoon type.
It was okay. Just Chris Pratt's cabin was in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know. So they go to the island. There, shit goes wrong, as it always does. The dinos attack.
They also introduced like the game warden type guy again, like the bad
I
poacher.
forget his name. He's like the leader of the expedition, like a military type dude.
Again, soft reboot of Lost World over here.
It really is it's a take on Lost World, which also played with these conservation themes.
Kevin Wheatley, or Ken Wheatley.
That guy has a fantastic voice. I really liked his voice.
Yeah, he's the dude from Silence of the Lambs. Would you fuck me?
Oh, yeah.
I'd fuck me.
Interesting. So they go to the island.
Horror movie tie-in.
Yeah, no,
And this is a Universal movie, which Universal Monsters. Come on, guys. Are we getting the connections here?
The themes.
It's freaking me out, man.
All right, keep going, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as usual, I don't really follow a lot of the details once they're just like running around with dinos in the jungle. That kind
You mean
of
all the action parts?
Yeah, the action parts are like, okay, dinos are attacking.
Yeah, so they need let me come in and give all the details. You refuse to.
The dinos all look the same.
They need Bryce Dallas Howard's because her handprint. She ran the park, so that she has all the override code. She can like access all the things they need because they really want to get Blue back. Blue's the only is the last
Velociraptor.
The last of the dinosaurs that could take orders, was smart. She's the only one left over, so we got to get Blue because they want to. They've already been working on making a new genetic hybrid called the Indo Raptor from the DNA of the Indominus Rex from the first Jurassic World movie.
Right. But we don't know that yet.
No, that was the whole thing from the first movie, or from the first scene, is they're getting the bone of the Indominus Rex. And that's why they're doing that whole mission.
I know that's the villain's plot, is that he's trying to recreate, he's trying to make a bigger,
but we don't
stronger,
know that they've already,
dino.
well, I wouldn't say bigger.
That's true. In this case, well, yeah. It's nastier.
Yeah.
But we don't know. I mean, Bryce Dallas Howard doesn't know that.
No,
At this point, they think it's still a rescue mission to save the dinos from another extinction.
Mm-hmm. But so they're tricking them to get Blue because, I mean, that's why they want Chris Pratt there, and they want Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes.
To get Blue specifically. They do a whole nother thing where Chris Pratt, he drive a motorcycle, but he gets to Blue. Mm-hmm. They do a whole nother scene where he's like connecting with him. He's putting his arms out. This is all you need to do to control a dinosaur, Katie, just so you know.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah. Whoa.
And
some good dino action. Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah.
I mean, once the volcano starts erupting, I thought, I mean, here's my wife's take on the movie. She didn't watch this whole one, but she watched a good chunk of it. And her observation of the eruption and then the running when the dinos and the humans started running from the lava was it's like watching humans experience the extinction in the first place.
Yeah,
which was
that's
quite cool.
exactly what I said with the
quite cool.
with the what is it, Brachiosaurus?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
long
you're like,
neck.
oh, this is what
long-necky
it
one.
must have been. Yeah, this is what it must have
Mhm.
been like for them. And I was like, this is sad.
Mm.
But yeah, that's probably what it was probably like for the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Jurassic Park, you get to experience extinction too. That'd be funny if that was like a ride for
Oh, in the world of the park.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they also bring this Paleo vet there with them as well,
Yeah, I did not
which
know
I thought
her.
she was an interesting character.
Yeah, she was good.
Oh yeah, she was pretty
But I mean,
neat.
it's like
Kind of
funny
the
because she gets off the plane. She's
counterpoint
like, I
for-
never thought I'd see a dinosaur. It's like, this is your job. You were like a vet and you never thought you'd see an animal that you've apparently learned all about.
Yes. I know. Well, she was like kept on the sidelines, but like as like a political pawn, right? Like they were always having her answer calls and shit.
Yeah, they were like, well, she was working for Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
doing like more
Not that
political work versus veterinary
Yeah.
work.
So she was like, I don't think I'll ever.
Well, yeah, I guess once Jurassic Park's done, there's not a lot of call for a
It's like
paleo
college. They're
vet.
like, let's make up
Right.
some majors here that people can have because now these exist. So I guess you could study, you could major in.
Yeah, they're like, I guess you could major in technical communications. That was what I got my degree.
That was an art major.
Paul, what was your major?
International affairs and history.
Wow. As dead as paleo veterinarian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
interesting.
Fascinating. So much.
But yeah, so she's
meaning.
She is helpful though in the plot, right? Like she does.
She does a lot. She keeps Blue alive
She
after
keeps
they shoot
Blue
her.
alive.
Yeah, because when they get Blue, they end up shooting. Blue attacks one of the mercenary guys. He shoots Blue, so Blue has to get a bullet taken out of her. And then they leave Chris Pratt for dead. They hit him with the trank and leave him there. And then they get into that humorous scene of like the lava coming, slowly coming for him, and him, very
recovering.
Recovering from
movement in his
the
getting like
limbs.
smooched.
Yeah, he gets licked by the Tyrannosaurus. Which do you think that was CG or did practical effect, Paul?
I mean, some combo of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
This
Yeah,
the
probably.
moisture on his face. That's real, probably.
Yeah.
yeah. So they had a face, like a cutout of a Triceratops's face that had a tongue that had like some liquid on it, and they would lick his face. But then the rest of the
It did
Tyrannosaurus
look
was
kind
CG.
of like, I was like, it's a little more campy right there. I like it.
I
Yeah.
liked that too. I thought the effects in general were quite good.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other moment was the whole, the Dino surgery when they're operating on Blue,
That
taking out the
part
bullet.
was stressful for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
they
mean,
said,
you
we're
don't know
saying,
if the dino's going to be okay.
Yeah, you don't. And Blue's so cute. I will say.
You like
she's-
Blue, huh?
I think Blue is adorable.
I don't like any reptiles. I think they're like soulless
I
fucks.
don't like dinosaurs.
I just
I want a dog. Give me a dog.
Blue, the Raptors were so scary in the first ever
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, they made Blue like they made her
Did you
likable.
like that they took the
Mhm.
villains from the first one, the scariest things, and then they domesticated them for this movie? That didn't bother you at all?
I was like, oh, they're like doggies.
Yeah, kind of.
I think what we're coming to is like maybe we less want Jurassic Park and we more want Dog Park.
Yeah.
Give me a dog park.
Just go to the dog park.
But I mean, the dinosaur stuff is scary. Like, I just feel like if I was living in this reality, I would for sure be like, no, do not let these things out into the everyday world.
I have to agree. I don't think dinosaurs should be let out into the everyday world.
That's funny because you were for reintroducing wolves back to Colorado, though, weren't you, Paul?
Oh my God. I don't have an
I
opinion
love
on
that.
that.
Brett Hiker has a really funny
You're
joke
for
about
that,
how
but
it was like
you're
also
against
primarily in the conservative population.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, deal with some wolves. I like that idea.
Mhm.
That you're making their lives harder.
Yeah. But also the wolves, wasn't it like there was a point to it?
There's a
all?
lot of
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know how to
Yeah.
get into
Animal rights is the point, I suppose.
But yeah, I
didn't mean to
it's
say that
scary
so
seeing Blue
sarcastically.
like out in the prairie at the end of that end shot. Like I was like, God, can you imagine like
Yeah.
dinosaurs just being re-entered into your and I mean it already happened. That's the funniest part is that like the beginning of it because the gate didn't close.
So the Mosasaurus gets out. Yeah.
You know your dinosaurs. I am.
That's probably my favorite dinosaur right there.
He is all over this
What is
shit.
it called?
The Mosasaurus.
The
Mosasaurus.
big fish.
Are those the ones that have a long neck kind of thing, or they're more like an alligator?
It's like a big shark.
Okay, so it is like a big shark. Okay, I really like the ones that look like long necks.
That's a Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, but they have flippers.
Oh, okay.
That's
Not in Jurassic Park, but yeah.
It's not in Jurassic Park. I know, and I'm like, there's like a
Maybe
Pokemon
in the
version of
seventh
it.
one this summer, huh?
The kids are just playing on it.
Huh?
No, they're bringing back the Spinosauruses. I don't know if we
What are
watched.
Spinosauruses?
Oh yeah, that's
They're
the
from
villain
the third,
in the third one.
but they can also swim. But they're like they're bigger than a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh,
More functional
got a
arms.
longer, thinner
They've got a big
snout.
spine thing that's like a fan on their back, and they can swim.
wow.
Yeah,
I'll
they
have-
look very similar, in my opinion.
You'll have to show me what I don't know if I. That's
So,
wait, that's what I love. Plesiosaurus.
Plesiosaur. Yeah, that's what Katie's favorite dino is right here.
A plesiosaurus. They're just
Plesiosaur.
chilling in the water. They look pretty docile, like a
Got some
brachiosaurus.
pretty
Oh,
big
yeah.
teeth.
They look pretty docile how they're eating all the things in the ocean. So Spinosaurus is right here.
Yep.
Oh,
There he
those
is.
little dudes.
It's a pretty big dude,
He's a
actually.
big
Bigger
dude.
than a
He's
Tyrannosaurus.
very
They're
scary.
bigger?
Yeah, they're bigger.
And they can swim.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Wow.
We don't see those in JP5, aka JW2, aka JW:FK.
Yeah.
We in this movie
Unfortunately.
that we've been talking about,
We see
Claire
some-
and Owen, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Chris Pratt,
yeah.
they manage to escape the island.
Well, there's that whole scene with the gyrosphere, and then it gets
So
thrown
good.
over the cliff. Yeah, and he's trying to save them as they're getting drowned.
Phenomenal
yeah, that part
action.
is intense.
Phenomenal.
They really do ramp up the action in this movie.
fast paced.
Yeah.
Very quick.
I mean, the movie's moving, all right,
Oh,
because
yeah.
this part of the movie is only the first quarter of the
Mhm.
movie, because
Yeah.
they're really trying to get to the Lockwood estate for this horror scene. This whole thing is like coming towards this dinosaur in a house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was Trevorrow's. I read an interview with the director J.A. Bayona, and he said that the haunted house idea, that was Trevorrow and Connolly. That was their premise for the sequel. And they wanted him to do it because he had previously done a horror movie in a house called The Orphanage. And they were like, this guy, Bayona, he's the guy to do the dino in the house horror take on this franchise. And it turned out to be, it's the whole second half of the movie.
It's definitely
Because-
the best shot. I think it's like the most cinematic of all the movies.
You're talking about the Brachiosaurus on the pier?
Yeah,
in the
and just like
smoke?
the beginning scene and the way they shoot the Indoraptor as it's coming over the roof into Maisie's room.
Oh, that's
they shoot
later
that.
at
Yeah,
the
but the
house.
whole shot, everything's just very, it's just cinematic. He's just like, look at my fucking,
He's
Yeah.
very
what I
good.
can do, Spielberg.
I said this last time that
Yeah.
Trevorrow, as the director of Jurassic World, brought a lot of fresh, like visual takes to
Yeah.
the dino action that I really liked. Having that in the franchise, it was really refreshing and got me back interested after JP3 was such a slog. And I think the same thing about J.A. Bayona. I think this franchise needs a fresh
New
take,
director
new
each time.
director each time. Let these people,
That'd be
like,
so fun to
cook.
direct one.
let them cook. Yeah, what would be your move? What's your set piece?
Again, I would Plesiosaurus.
And what are they doing? What are
The
we seeing
Plesiosaurus
them?
does a little drag and dresses up like a person that's like floating next to boats. And
Okay.
then it's like, and
I was saying, Paul did ask me
and
what
people are
my,
upset that they think that this Plesiosaurus is like teaching their kids stuff and they're just to follow that political theme.
Oh, yeah, because it's about what we're dealing with today in the real world. Yeah.
Plesiosaurus just wants to read a children's book to the kids on the boat, but they're like, no, not in our boat.
Dino
It's
story
eating the
time is
kids.
wrong.
It is eating the kids.
I think my pitch for sequel would be, as we know, at the end of this movie, dinos get brought into the everyday world.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So,
do want to see that.
The dino is a private detective, and it solves crimes.
Yeah, or like Blue gets a little human like.
Yeah, Blue with a gun. Blue with a handgun.
Blue with a gun. Jurassic
hat.
World,
Yeah,
Blue with a
tip a hat.
gun.
Yeah, it's kind of a 10-minute
Blue's
podcast
got a
reference, but yeah.
gun.
Woman in a red dress walks
do
into a
feel like-
smoky room.
Yeah, it's basically a remake of Chinatown, but with Blue is
gonna
the
be-
Jack Nicholson character.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it's gonna be very what is that movie? Like it's gonna be invasion-ish once they get to the part where they're like in the cities and like stuff.
Well, you got to watch Dominion and see what they do with it. Because
I can't wait to see.
Well, the whole
JD's been
thing-
teasing this the whole time. He says Dominion
I
is his
think
favorite
Dominion's
one.
I got to rewatch it again. Okay, at this point, it's the one I've watched the least out of all the movies.
Mhm.
Wait, which one's Dominion?
It's the next one.
Oh,
That's
so it's coming
JP6.
out.
No,
Wait.
the next one is Rebirth.
Okay.
So Dominion came out like a couple years ago.
Okay, and we're getting like all of them. They saved a species of each one. So like,
Yeah, like Moses
yeah,
in a
we
way.
got an arc of it is. There's so many religious and political tones.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing. Well, okay, let's finish your wrap up here. But when we
to
get to
us to
the
the plot to get
Yeah,
back
I
to
mean,
the
they-
house.
Yes.
they do this whole like epic scene with the death of the Indo Raptor. You know,
Yeah.
and
It's
Blue
awesome.
is the
I
hero.
Fuck.
think- can we let's
rules.
get
It
back
it
to the where were we in the plot?
We were just getting off the
Off
island.
So they got off the gyrosphere.
They all get off the
He
sphere.
saved them from it. They get on the
Yeah.
Bryce
boat.
Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt, they managed to get on the boat. There's
This
a great
is-
scene of the dino dying
This
in
is
the
the
smoke.
Brachiosaur
That's
from the
right.
When they
original
have a
movie.
very
I
tasteful
cried.
take
Okay.
on the Jurassic Park theme song. It's one of the best musical cues in the series so
It's sad
far.
as
It's
hell.
beautiful.
It
and
is very
It's
touching.
sad as hell. You just want to like you want to float that dinosaur to safety.
It might be my hold
So
on to your
that one
butts
should
moment.
live. That's that. I just said that's my hold on to
That's
your
on
butts.
your-
It's
Hey,
both.
We're holding on to
Emotional
each other's
hold on your
butts here,
butts.
JD.
And it's supposed to be the one from the first film that cracks me
Yeah, the Brachiosaurus that
up.
everybody saw. That
He said
If
this
I
about
had
the
known that
T-Rex.
going in, I
this
probably
is
would have cried
the
harder.
director say this is the thing.
He's always saying the dinos are the same dinos from
That's
the other
what-
movies, and it's like this is
That's
not
what the director
meaningful.
say. Yes,
This
it
is so not meaningful to me.
They're bringing back
Well,
legacy dinosaurs. This is just as
what
impactful
are-
as them bringing back
Can we look
Neil,
up what like
Sam Neill, and
the
everything.
Brachiosaurus lifespan was depicted to be?
Because
reptiles do live forever. Look at these
We
turtles.
don't have to do that.
Look at
We
these
don't-
turtles.
They
you
live a
know?
long time.
Yeah, the
Like,
turtle's interesting.
The turtles are dinosaurs.
Jeff
an
Goldblum.
interesting,
We haven't talked about
comparison.
Jeff Goldblum at all.
Goldblum's a
The other
dinosaur.
dinosaur they brought back for this one. He's old
Jesus
and
Christ.
He's still hot and he's like so old.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they really sold him in all the promotional stuff as like he's a part of this movie, and he just bookends it with him talking at a.
He's
court.
not part of this movie at all.
No,
he
I
shot
mean-
one day on set.
Yes.
had
But he is
one
like the
speech.
prophet of the movie. You know what I mean? Like he's literally.
They
Yeah.
did bring back the character from the book who is always constantly preaching these long monologues about how the world is going to outlast us and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and like we can't control anything. Chaos theory reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's
Book
like bringing
Malcolm.
back-
Yeah, it
A
was
book
Bookman.
loyal Malcolm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no quips. He didn't
And
quip
I mean, I'm
once
with
in that
him. I'm
court.
sorry. I just think it's messy.
You think the dinosaurs should not exist and they should be
But I just want to
exterminated?
say this
Yeah.
is my wife's take on this movie. She hates
Yes.
this movie because of that brachiosaur scene.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, I can't believe they're making me feel this way. They're manipulating my
That's
feelings.
exactly how I felt.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, I'm pissed off right
yeah,
now.
because you're making me
No.
feel so. I mean, it does. It's
I loved
emotional.
It's like
It was
in
great.
the arms of an angel, and the Brachiosaurus is like, and you're like, oh my god!
And it's a silhouette in the smoke.
Yeah,
it's
it's
gorgeous.
It
it's
is
really
gorgeous.
good.
And then
I mean,
they're
he's milking it.
Yeah,
He
and then
knows
they're
what he's
like,
doing.
did you know Brachiosauruses have fingernails when they're born?
Mhm.
How would you know that, Katie?
Mhm.
When they're in the fetus. I didn't mean when they're born.
Mm.
How would you know that,
When
Katie?
they're in the uterus. What am I saying? Oh my
Oh,
god.
okay. You're talking about abortion stuff.
Yeah, no, but I
Okay.
mean, it is like, it is that. It's like, it's making me feel a certain way about
Right.
something.
And you're like,
and
stupid dinosaurs shouldn't make me feel this way.
I don't know if I ever felt that way watching the first one. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the closest you're getting to that shock and awe of seeing the dinosaurs for the first time.
yeah, it is
This
the
is
closest.
the most emotional thing you're going to
when
get
it's
from
like,
that.
da 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 da.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like Christmas music to me or something. Like when I saw. Anyway, back to the plot.
I mean,
Yeah. So the plot is it turns out there's the bad guys. You know,
It turns
everybody that
out
Chris
everyone
Pratt
got
and Bryce
scammed.
Dallas Howard went to the island with, they're all bad guys. They're working for the big villain who owns this house. And he doesn't wanna
Eli,
save
I think his
the-
name's Eli something.
Eli
Yeah.
doesn't want to save the dinos. He wants to sell the dinos, and he wants to make more dinos
Eli
and sell
Mills.
them
That
for
part gets so angry.
whatever. And they get back to the house, and you know, things
They're
go
shipping
wrong.
they're
also
shipping
really-
all the dinos into the house.
It's kind of like a Beetlejuice moment where they're like trying to be like, let's profit off these ghosts. You know, it's like, that little guy, the billionaire that comes in.
Yeah, the short man.
Toby Jones with the hat, the head, and the veneers, the auctioneer.
Yes.
Yeah, Toby Jones.
Oh my god.
He was great. Yet another great character actor to bring into the Jurassic franchise. I thought he nailed it.
Yeah, no,
Great
he was
work in
great.
this movie.
He was great, and you know he's gonna die the minute he enters.
Oh, for sure. Oh
You're
my
just
god.
like, this guy's gonna get fucking served.
They give him one of those great moments where it's just like, oh, this is a bad guy. When he's like, $4 million? I don't get out of bed for $4 million.
I know, and you're just like,
oh, you asshole.
this is like this
Fuck
Elon
you,
Musk
prick.
MF.
I think this is them going against the trope of like fat guy equals bad guy in movie. Finally,
They do. That is true.
Because that's kind of the trope in all the other movies.
Yeah, they were like, let's get this
They're like
tiny
Newman,
little...
fat guy, bad guy. Let's kill him. No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
In the first Pratt movie, Bryce Dallas Howard,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
yeah, fat guy, bad guy, but also fat guy gets
It's
eaten
always
first.
fat guy, bad guy, or like
Yeah.
red. They love doing it to BIPOC people. Also, redheads.
Bryce Dallas
Yeah.
Howard, redhead. She's the hero.
Yeah, no, she's a hero.
No, she's a hero in this. Yeah, she's turning around. You know, like
She's turning it around.
Dune, the first one, all the villains are redheads. It's so funny.
Yeah, that's one movie, Katie.
Or what about Children of the Corn, Malachi?
Those were
Dune
blondes.
is redhead.
Gross.
Who's redhead?
Malachi
old
is a
Dune?
Yeah,
redhead.
in the
In the
book
David
and
Lynch?
in the David Lynch one, yeah, they're
Oh yeah,
red.
Dune. They're all...
the
Dude, the David Lynch one is my favorite. Sorry.
the ones where the redheads are the bad guys.
Yeah.
The Harkonnens are all redheads. That's
Mhm.
in the books.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Well, in the Wheel of Time, the Robert Jordan thing, the Aiel, they're actually this noble, race, and they're all redheads. Just so you know.
there you
Throwing it
go.
out
Okay,
there.
there's like a
Okay, thank you. Sorry,
representation.
I know we don't want to get off on that because Paul's
Okay,
gonna get upset.
okay.
I'm not upset. I'm thinking about this.
Redheads being villains.
Yeah. I'm not sure this had struck me before, but I'll probably notice this.
So Maisie, the little girl, Lockwood's granddaughter,
Uh-huh.
knows, like, she finds out, she hears the Eli, the bad guy, on the phone talking about
Yeah.
like getting those dinosaurs here. We're gonna sell
Doing his
them.
evil plan.
She tries to go to Lockwood, tell him like, "Hey, Grandpa, this is happening."
Uh-huh.
He's like, "Go to bed, Maisie," and she like climbs around the whole outside of the house to
Yeah.
get to him. So they establish there's like a route there,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of rooftop action happens later on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eli comes in and Lockwood confronts him about what he's doing. He's like, "Pick up that phone and call the police on yourself." And I was like, who the fuck would think that? Only rich asshole would think somebody would do that.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then it's
And then he kills him with a pillow.
yeah, he kills him.
It's
with
so
a pillow.
sad.
Also, James Cromwell is the name of the actor, the old guy,
Mr. Lockwood.
Mr.
John-
Lockwood. And I think in this movie we learn that they basically changed the canon of the world of Jurassic Park, and they're telling us that Lockwood, a character that I don't think existed before this
I'm
movie,
pretty sure Lockwood was mentioned in the books.
was he? He was in the
I think
books?
they were in the books as
Okay.
like they were partners at the beginning.
Because that's what I thought when they said that in this movie. I was like, wait a second. I thought it was Hammond's thing, not
Hammond had to-
Lockwood and Hammond doing this
just
together.
his
They split
presence
because of
confused me a bit.
the cloning thing. Lockwood wanted to pursue the cloning thing for his daughter, and Hammond just wanted to make
But that's in
dinosaurs
this.
for the
That's in
park.
this movie. That
I-
they
There
reveal the
maybe something in the
disagreement.
second book. I only
Maybe.
read the second or listened to the second
they
book
could do a
once.
whole little film just on the daughter, I think.
They might someday. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, they didn't really develop that
It's like
so
a zone
much.
of
I mean, it was
interest
like
with the daughter.
They build that out in the next movie more. They talk about the daughter a lot
They
more.
do?
Yes, they do.
oh, I'm excited about
And then
that.
there's
Yeah.
like dinosaurs outside.
Because Maisie wants to know more about her lineage, and they get more into it.
Okay.
Cool. Very cool.
Daughter.
I was into it. It was good.
That's
Yeah.
what,
It
a
was
lot
good.
of criticism of this movie is that it's just a bridge to get to the next movie. Because like the whole
Yeah.
idea was like we want to integrate dinosaurs into the human world, and both the first two movies are just trying to get to the end of this movie
Where they're just
Eh.
like,
where they're around people.
put like beginning, we get the little.
The Mosasaurus going after
one.
the surfers. You got fucking Triceratops is ruining
They're
campsites.
peppering them in.
This is the montage that ends
At
Fallen
the end,
Kingdom. Yeah. Which is cool.
But again, in the promotional stuff, they show a lot of that. And they're like, "Oh, this is what's going to happen in this movie," and it's not quite.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I did not remember that, how they sold it. I think that they did some marketing problems with these movies. Because I was looking back at some of the reviews and the commentary about them when they came out, and it was like, this is not my experience of these movies. Feels like people were disappointed by them.
Yeah, I mean, people
and I think
wanted...
it was this expectation you're talking about.
Well, yeah,
of
they
like,
showed a lot of Jeff Goldblum in the trailers. They were like, okay, they're like, we're bringing him back. This is like a thing.
Yeah.
And he's in 2 scenes.
And it's kind of the same scene. They just split in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get to Lockwood Estate. They lock up Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. The villain monologues to them about how he's going to sell all the dinosaurs and they're going to kill him eventually. They get out. They break out.
This is how you do a plot summary, folks. This is great. You're crushing it, man.
Oh, so Maisie's hiding there,
and
she's also seen footage in the downstairs prison, dinosaur prison / laboratory. That is like the cavernous basement of this Lockwood mansion has to be huge to hold all these dinosaurs.
It does seem very big.
Yeah.
I wrote something down about this. Her watching the footage. She's watching the Pratts as Pratt is learning how to teach the dinosaurs and build relationships with Blue.
Yeah, as
it's cutting back and forth between her watching his like video diaries and what was it? It was a lot like the first Jurassic Park, the way they did the
like they just cutting back and forth between her watching and then him being like, oh, maybe it was Blue getting the surgery, maybe
Dino crying and the little girl. What? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was the surgery. It was the surgery on the boat. Yeah,
which I did love. Nice. Yeah, when they had to get the blood from the Tyrannosaurus, I did like that scene a lot too.
Great action scene.
Yeah, a lot of suspense. It was good. There's a lot of guy knows how to do suspense. You know,
he's really quite good. I'm curious about this director.
Spielberg level with like directing these movies. We're finally back to good suspense. Everything's happening. It moves quickly. It did feel the most like the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Just like everything's moving.
It moved,
there's no lulls.
Visually interesting.
I mean, the most boring part I thought upon first watch was the house scene. I was like,
really?
Yeah. For the first time I watched it, I wasn't as into it.
Yeah.
But as I appreciated it more as I marinated in it.
So I think we're at the point of the auction where they're selling dinosaurs.
Well, did you notice that the little girl is like kind of mirroring the things that Blue's doing as she's watching this video? There's a lot of little hints that he's dropping in there that Maisie is a clone.
Oh, no, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, like because they're like, oh, she tilts her head because she's curious, and that shows empathy. That's Chris Pratt talking about Blue, but Maisie's doing that as she's watching as well. Yeah, things like that.
Interesting.
And then Maisie almost gets taken by the Indominus Rex. No,
the Indoraptor.
Indoraptor, sorry. Yeah, because there's that scene where she's like hiding from the bad guys. They're talking about the auction or whatever and how they're going to kill Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. And then the Indoraptor is like reaching out for her with that huge claw with its Nosferatu hand. And it just grazes her hair very gently.
Yeah, which is also Silence of the Lambs-ish too.
Okay, yeah.
The Indoraptor itself. This is our new creature in this film, the debut of the Indoraptor, a genetic hybrid.
Super scary.
I have to agree. Very scary.
Like, this thing should not exist ever on this planet. Like,
did you
and
think
all these rich people are like, yeah, $1 million.
Do you think it was scarier than the Indominus Rex? Because they really talked up the Indominus Rex in that first one.
I know. I do think the Indominus Rex is pretty scary. The Indoraptor just has like a weird snaky vibe to it.
It makes it, it's got more of a Dracula vibe than a Frankenstein vibe.
It feels like a weapon, which is weird. The other Rex, you're like, okay, let's avoid this thing by its behavioral patterns that we know of. This thing, it's like, this is a trained gun, but it's a dinosaur. And it's like, it feels like a weapon. It's like more of a weapon than it's anything natural,
And Owen's research is apparently is how they get to the Indoraptor. We're saying that he wasn't innocent in the last one, and I think this is an extension of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have that confrontation scene in there where he's like, "What did you think was going to happen with the stuff that you did?"
Yeah.
The whole like laser sight triggering the Indoraptor to like pick a target. Because it is designed to be a weapon. That's the purpose of it, and that's why these guys are here to buy it.
And that's scarier to me because it's just like it's people using it in this weird way is also kind of crazy to me.
I didn't like how Blue they like I don't know if you guys noticed, but when they take the bullet out of Blue, it cries. It sheds a single tear.
I didn't know.
You didn't think it. It took like the
know.
third watch for me to notice it, but I didn't like how they were humanizing Blue. Like they give up so many moments of like Blue and Chris Pratt are like looking at each other, and you could just hear like in another action movie if it was fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger and the guy from Creed. He'd be like, "I got you, bro." Like Chris Pratt be like, "I need you over here," and then Blue's like, "I got you."
She is a good girl.
Chris Pratt's like, "Dylan, get down," and then the other guy's like, "I got you, man."
It is. She's
this Indo Raptor's
she
not
also
getting out of this
saves-
motherfucking
she's a hero in
Lockwood
this.
Estate
She
without
is a
getting
hero
some
in this
fucking holes in
movie.
its ass. It's basically what Blue's sounds like to me.
Do you have more? This is great.
Blue sounds like.
What if Stallone was there as well?
I can't do
maybe
Hey, yo, baby.
Indo Rap.
I like this Indo Raptor so much.
Why you can't just pay money for? I can't do it at all. I got nothing.
There's all these Russians down there.
When I was fighting Ivan Drac.
I don't have
You just
anything.
go straight Italian.
I'm better at dinosaur sounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you get this nasty woman reference that they made?
Yes.
What was that?
It's a Trump thing.
Did that stick out to you?
100%.
Because this is 2018.
Yep.
This is Trump beat the Clinton lady. So I can't. I'm thinking Indoraptors. I'm thinking fucking Spinosaurus. Hillary Clinton. And they did the nasty. Yeah. What was the nasty woman reference to?
That's what Trump said about Hillary
That she was
at
a
one
nasty.
point. She's a nasty.
Yeah. And so the guy,
I mean, it's also kind of a callback to Clever Girl.
Wheatley.
Yeah,
Wheatley, the guy who's
totally.
pulling out teeth to like make a necklace.
Yeah.
He says that
Like,
the
of course
veterinarian's a
it's-
nasty woman,
Mm.
which I thought was like a weird reference for. It took me out of it.
Yeah, it was very much just like, I mean, so they're dealing with the themes of the modern day, but when they go into the two specifics, it's not as compelling. And I think it's probably divisive. If I was more of a conservative person, I would think that would suck.
Yeah.
But there was the other earlier thing I mentioned, the BBC thing on the Chiron, on when they were doing the news reports. That was kind of a reference to Trump and like the conservative turn in America. U.S. president. It's like when there's watching the news and then on the bottom of the screen there's like a ticker of headlines.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Chiron.
Okay.
And it said U.S. president questions existence of dinosaurs in first place.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so Indoraptor gets loose, should have predicted it. They always do.
But Eli killing the old Lockwood guy, is that the first like person-on-person murder in Jurassic Park?
Great question, JD.
I think it is.
About it.
I don't think there's any other instance where it's a person intentionally killing another person in a Jurassic Park movie. There's a lot of firsts in here. There's also, this is like the first real like action scene in a Jurassic Park movie where Chris Pratt gets into where they're doing all the bidding and he's fighting all the
he's like punching guys out, and then the Indoraptor's in the cage behind him.
Yeah. This
Such
is
a cool
first
shot.
Actiony. This is like the step forward for Jurassic Park as an action movie.
It's true.
I agree.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, you're calling it a horror movie a lot, this one, and I guess like
that was
I know
what the director
why,
wanted.
I know that the director's like a horror guy, but I feel like it's the same tone and the same kind of style as the other ones. If anything, it's more what you're talking about. It's more like more action.
Actiony?
Yeah, I feel like it's action thriller, maybe.
I mean, that last part, he's going for a vibe
like a sci-fi
there. He's going for a
thriller.
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird too because you watch like the Alien movies, and I have that same feeling sometimes where I'm like, this isn't like super horror to me.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, but then the most recent Alien, there is one horror scene that I have a joke about it where I'm like, that was a little more different than like the previous Aliens, and I feel like this does have like the clawing, the weird serial killer vibes, and then like also Nosferatu vibes and stuff.
Like Indoraptor's crazy. I think they even do a Joker
the
reference.
Horror of like people's ignorance is a huge theme in this too. Like how
the horror of people's ignorance.
Yes, just like how willy-nilly billionaires are like, yeah, I want to grab this dinosaur and use it as a weapon. And then also people wanting to release a extinct species back into the world. It's like this ignorance that is like, no, the whole time you're just like a fly on the wall and it's like all these horrible choices. And it's really hard to watch sometimes. Even the guy getting the tooth, you're like and it's funny that it's Buffalo Bill that's getting the tooth.
Yeah. Is Buffalo
It's
Bill?
like you would just to get your little suit.
Just have your necklace.
Which I feel like that was kind of like a nod to that. Now that I'm thinking about it, because he's like
Interesting.
wanting to build a costume. He's talking about what he's gonna do with the tooth and stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be the centerpiece of his necklace.
Yes, exactly. How like that is so Ed Gein.
That's a murderer.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, you don't know Ed Gein? He's
No.
the guy who like, sorry, something's in my eye. He like actually only murdered I think 2 or 3 women.
So not that bad.
He's not like, you know, he's not Jack the Ripper, but he got most of his stuff from like cadavers and like corpses and stuff, and he would rob cemeteries and like, but he did murder a couple ladies and make like suits, and that's who Buffalo Bill's based off of.
Okay.
Ed Gein.
Can we go to the Indoraptor's death?
It's actually based off the Indoraptor. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, just because I mean that's why I'm getting like this over the top, overly dramatic horror movie vibe. When he crashes through the ceiling, when Blue goes on top of him, and they're circling in the and he's been like
there's a chase through the house. There's an escape. There's a fight.
Oh, we're gonna get into detail about that, but I'm just
and you see how like it's like they display the Indoraptor like a gun. Right? They're like, look at how he climbs right out of that hole. And you're like watching his body, like just like adjust to everything. So formatically, he's not clumsy like other dinosaur predators have been.
Yes, they set him up as like this all power, like this otherworldly creature, like a vampire or something. Like they would talk about Ed Cullen in Twilight or something.
Totally. But wait,
this is
so
the
we're
skin
going
of the
back.
killer.
What were you saying though?
What?
You were making a point about this?
She just did it.
That's the whole point is that I loved that.
My mistake.
But I just thought like it's an interesting scene because I feel like it's a scene where it's kind of like a commercial for how effective this dinosaur is as a killer, and you're just like, this thing cannot get out. Like,
well, the whole thing, the big threat, I guess, or the way they present it is like this can be used as your weapon.
Yeah,
is that you can put a laser. It's like set to like if you put a laser on somebody and then play this high pitched noise, it will attack whatever the laser's on.
Yeah.
I also watched a video where the criticism was you already have a gun pointed at your enemy and you need the raptor to go kill it when you're pointing a gun at it.
I know. It is like a weird, it's like, why that? I definitely had that thought watching it. Like, I was like, why that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just thinking this thing's going to malfunction and just try to murder everything. That's the whole, where I was like, what are we? And it does. That's exactly what it does.
I mean,
it's the whole thing is like, you can direct it. I wanted
to try to control it. It's like making a robot or something that could kill people and then being like, but we're going to control it. And it's like, well, it's going to just kill everyone.
I feel like you'd have a better shot at controlling a robot than at controlling a dino.
A species.
Yeah.
So
a dinosaur is an animal.
The dinosaur bid, they make $128 million out of all that bidding.
We're talking about the number. Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yes.
Good.
And they're like, oh my God, this is so much money. We made so much money. And that's like a quarter of what it cost to make this movie.
I mean, also
the numbers are really funny.
They're so funny. The $800 million of the lawsuits that they had to pay out from the first movie, The Disaster.
There's just a bunch of Dr. Evils in here.
What are we talking? Like, this is not 100. 128, not that much.
Right.
These things are more valuable. You'd think.
Yeah.
But also, this is a world in which dinosaurs are banal. And you have to keep creating more and more dangerous killing machines to keep people interested.
Yeah.
So the Indoraptor does get out because after Buffalo Bill tries to kill him or tries to get the tooth, he gets killed by the Indoraptor, and the Indoraptor gets out of the cage and starts pursuing Maisie and Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt.
Into the bedroom.
Yeah, into the bedroom.
Onto the roof.
And then Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard really have to have this moment where like, we're going to protect this girl now. I think Bryce Dallas Howard really tells Chris Pratt like, you have to protect her because she gets the Indoraptor claws her leg and she can't run anymore. And so she has to be like, hey, go do this. So he's taking on daddy role. He's Daddy Pratt now. And he goes to save Maisie, who's hiding in a room, and which is another horror movie trope where they wanted to get Maisie in this room where they have some Easter eggs because that whole room is like digitally created.
Really?
Yeah, because they got to have the fucking dinosaurs fighting and breaking everything, and the dinosaurs are all CG.
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. Yeah,
what's in the room? What'd you see? I didn't see anything.
E.T. stuffed animal.
Mm.
And that's pretty much the best one. So
I mean, that's a
what
good
I
one.
got.
Oh, I like
Spielberg. Stevie
there
Baby.
you go. There you go. You know, I didn't catch that. But again, I missed these. I was probably looking down at my art for a second there.
Yeah, so they have this whole running through the mansion, running through all these dioramas of the dinosaurs, the older dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
They do a whole thing where you see Maisie's reflection, and then the Indoraptor as the light comes on.
Yep.
They have like a
very scary.
That
yeah,
part
but
was
that's also like they're
cool.
the same.
Kind of threw us back to what was it? I think the Lost World, where there was a raptor on the other side of a tank of water,
Right? Yeah,
and there was a reflection of a face in the water.
yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, that was another hint that like Maisie's a part dinosaur in
Maisie's
a way.
a clone.
Yeah.
What's hiding in her DNA?
Yeah, for real.
That'd
she
be
part
crazy. You
raptor?
think they put a little dino in her?
Maybe.
She's just got like a dino tail or
Yeah,
something.
they're like, we had to replace some of your mother's DNA with a raptor.
We put a little raptor in, yeah. You're the next
It just seemed like the
weapon.
most logical thing to do.
At the end of the movie, she just like squeals. She does the
Yeah,
same like
I'm just
roaring
like,
squawk.
It's like instead of blue,
you'll see what
in
she
the
does in the
valley,
next
it's
movie.
like her
Oh,
being
God.
like
Yeah, so then the Indoraptor runs around the house and it follows Maisie. And that's when they have the rooftop scene where they do the Nosferatu, like opening the door. That was a very OG Dracula movie driven thing where they have Dracula crawling upside down to get into a lady's room.
Yes.
And so that was a direct homage to that Dracula movie, Universal Monster. Okay. So then they want Blue. They're like, we want Blue to be the hero of this movie one last time.
Yeah, she is a hero.
So Blue breaks into the room. They have like a bar, what they call a bar room brawl type situation with the Indoraptor and
in the bedroom.
Yeah, in the bedroom. It fucks up that bedroom.
Yep.
And they eventually get on the roof, and they establish that the Indoraptor can't really move because it'll break the glass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then Bryce Dallas Howard gets up there, and then Chris Pratt's like, I'm going to sacrifice myself to try and get the Indoraptor to fall through the sunroof. It does that, but then Blue comes and he like jumps over it or crashes the Indoraptor down. And this is the scene I was trying to get to when they're like falling through the air, and it's like epic, and you can see the moon and the rain, and it's very like religious coded, like any movie, a horror movie I've watched where it's like a religious like monster demon
like
thing.
Omen.
I was thinking of there's this one with Arnold
like
Schwarzenegger.
She's like the little Omen.
Yeah. So
and then the main raptor,
and it has to fall, and it's like base kind of gets crucified in a way, or falls on this skewer of like an older dinosaur that like saves it, like the natural world. It kills this thing, and reclaiming it in a way, and then Blue's like the hero
standing on top of the corpse of the Indoraptor.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
It was very cool. And then Blue's like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
I know. She's like,
well, they had that moment at the end where Blue's like hanging out, and then he's like, let me help you. And then they look at the cage, and Blue's just like, yo, fuck you. I ain't going back in no cage, bitch. Because that's
I'll save your life, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then I'm out.
He's like, I'm out. I'm going to go make babies in this fucking forest.
I'm going to self-produce.
And then, Blue runs away. And then it's just Maisie. Oh, yeah. And then they have this whole like ending scene where the main villain, Eli's trying to get away with the Indoraptor. I mean, with the Indominus Rex DNA, like bone.
The original bone.
And all these dinosaurs come out, and
which was a very cool scene.
Stampede, him.
Heck yeah.
And then eventually Rexy from the original movie and the last movie comes, and they rip him apart, and he shares it with another Tyrannosaurus type dinosaur.
Like, eat him up. Like they're...
Oh, yeah. Very good suit on him. I wanted to get back into JD's fashion corner.
Okay. We're going to step into JD's fashion corner right now.
Because we did spend a lot of time talking about the bad guy suit in the second
in
Lost World.
Of the dinosaurs fashion, too.
I mean, he's got this gold stripe, black and gold. I do like a good black and gold.
I mean, he's got a
That's
good
the Indoraptor.
suit. He does look like Nosferatu. He's like, dream only of me.
Yeah, the gold stripe is cool, but we're talking about the suit, Eli's suit.
Oh yeah. No, I was saying,
like, I'm a rich guy.
I was like, let's talk about the dino fashion, just because they do have interesting coloring.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
But
I mean, blue's blue,
but this suit
Indoraptor's
Eli
gold.
Here we're looking at is tailored. It's fitted. It's not wavy and baggy, which is a more traditional style of suit, which we talked about that the bad guy in Lost World had.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a much more tailored look that I'm into. is what I was getting at. And just for everybody,
You
I know
prefer
the
to
audience
look
knows,
less tailored?
No, I want it to look more tailored.
More tailored.
Yeah,
More
because he
tailored.
doesn't have like the big wavy trousers.
David Byrne talking head suit all the way to what's the tightest suit you could think of?
I mean, his is pretty. I mean, this is not slim fit, but it fits his body. You know, you want a tailored suit. You want something tailored to your body.
Slim fit.
I'm also dressed like Chris Pratt from this movie, just so you guys know. For the listeners, I bound as a character from the movie, and I'm doing a Chris Pratt today. Did you notice my brown?
It is very Chris Pratt like a brown vest.
All right, appreciate it.
I knew it from the black, the 3 buttons, most of them unbuttoned.
The Henley,
Yeah.
you like this Henley, bro?
I was thinking about Pratt in this movie and what he was wearing, and I was thinking that might be
the brown
JD's
vest
look.
and I didn't want to do Pratt last movie because I wanted to do Pratt this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what I'll do next movie?
Who knows?
Maybe I'll do Bryce Dallas Howard. Got to get a red wig.
Yeah, you might be one of her. You could be my Plesiosaurus bit. A dino and drag. Okay.
All right. So I mean and then they established yeah. So then there was this whole subplot while the Indoraptor was chasing Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and Maisie that the Paleo vet and the dorky guy were trying to let the dinosaurs out of their cages.
Yes.
And there was a fight with Blue. Blue gets out. That's how Blue gets out of the cage after they save it from being from the
There's
bullet
like some
wound.
kind of poisonous gas.
Yeah, there's a poisonous gas that gets released.
Yeah.
And Blue does the like leaping from explosion scene. I don't know if you remember that. There was a whole Blue like jumping out of a window to get away from an explosion. Another just action moment they gave to the dinosaur,
Yeah.
which is cool.
It is fun to see those react and stuff.
Yeah, so they established that poison gas is getting into the enclosures, all the cages where all the dinosaurs are, and they're going to die. And so then Bryce Dallas Howard, Chris Pratt, Maisie, all the main characters have a moment where they're like, do we open this door and let all the gas out?
This is the climactic moment that boils the entire conflict, the thematic conflict of the film down to one single decision.
Do they deserve to live or not?
Do the dinos deserve to live or
Which is
not?
really good framing. I feel like a lot of the time it's like we're starting here, but we're going to get it really away because everything's a mess. And now we're just dealing with the mess. But then it's like, let's get back to this political theme that we started with. And I liked that.
And Bryce Dallas Howard chooses not to let them out. She's about to do it. And Chris Pratt's like, just think about it.
This is her arc of the film.
Yeah.
She goes from wanting to save the dinos and then being kind of tricked by it and getting thrown into danger again to ultimately deciding that she would prefer if the dinos died.
Right. And
I was kind of surprised by that, honestly. I mean, I liked it for the movie because it was nice to see some change. That was dynamic, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I like that they confronted Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt about like you're not innocent in this, you weren't just a cog in the,
Yeah, you're not just trying to fight the bad guy because he's doing something evil. Like you actually have to make the choice for yourself.
Yeah,
you were
knowing the consequences of your actions. Chris Pratt, you've trained the dinos. You've seen the consequences of your actions.
And Bryce Dallas Howard okayed the Indominus Rex. The building of these genetic hybrid freaks.
Yeah,
sorry, murder machines.
I do feel
de-extincted monsters.
It does get weird like that. And I was like, oh, it's good they're going back to it, but it makes me mad because I'm like, oh God. But I mean, I think it's supposed to leave you thinking, oh God, what a bad idea.
And this all happens in one night. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
I mean, like once they get back off the island, that's one day.
Yeah,
it's a big day.
Quite a day.
It's a big day. Are we gonna save the world? Because I mean, these dinosaurs are just gonna start eating all the easy things, and like people
like babies. I mean, that's something in the book. The Compies were going after babies in nurseries of the Costa Rican hospital.
Wow, I did not realize this is based off a book.
Oh yeah. Michael Crichton. 2 books.
Yeah.
Although he only wrote the second book after the movie was a success.
Okay, cool.
So that makes it less?
No, I mean, I don't know. I guess you're right. It's not a but. It's
Stephen King only wrote Dr. Sleep after The Shining was a success. You could say that.
No, I agree.
Thank you.
I'm with you on
but
this. But
he hated The Shining. He actually had someone redo it.
Irrelevant.
Okay, anyway. I just feel like that wasn't, I think he just was writing it, I feel like he's just always writing
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Michael
He's
Crichton
like,
was
this
also
plot, this
90s
plot,
white
this plot.
guy authors is something we talked about.
Mhm.
We had Evan Joe on. He's a big reader now, so it was fun to talk to him about Michael Crichton.
Great episode.
And he's also getting into Stephen King now, which is fun.
That's
Oh, really?
funny. Oh
Mhm.
my god. Him and I will have to talk.
I know, yeah, you'll love it. But okay. So yeah, Eli dies.
Mhm.
The Indominus Rex DNA gets crushed by Rexy. Rexy, hero of the whole franchise, basically. What do you mean?
No, you're right.
Yeah, why are you trying to take things away from Rexy?
I don't know. I don't know.
And then and then so the dinosaurs all get out, and now it's Jurassic World. They cut to Jeff Goldblum in the hearing again.
Yep.
Talking, and he says, "Welcome to Jurassic World."
Hated it.
Really?
Hated this line. It was such a cute button on the whole movie.
But you like
But here, no. Here's the problem. The term Jurassic World in the world of this movie already applies to the theme park Jurassic World.
Right, yeah.
Saying this is now Jurassic World doesn't make any sense.
You don't think so?
They
I mean, they
all
were
already
contained.
know Jurassic World as the theme park.
Yes. But I guess it is like, he's like, now we have the actual Jurassic World. Like the theme park has been, it's like a disease like that just spread. Like,
I hated it. I thought the only purpose of this line and his delivery I thought was also quite bad. It was like he didn't understand what movie he was in, which he probably didn't. He was on set for one day, clearly. But it was like they did not. You just would never have said that. That's just so unrealistic that he would use that term when it would mean something so specific in the context of this story for these people. It was terrible. It was like just for the trailer was that line.
Yeah. I mean,
And then they used it to end the whole movie. I just thought was like lazy and too cute.
it
And
could
it
have
was
just
so
ended
bad.
with her just like going out into that prairie and you see
I don't know. I think, I guess, I mean, really the ending is the montage of like all the dinosaurs incorporating into the world now.
Yeah, like I think they could have just had like a song.
And they had like Blue roaring instead of having Rexy
It is a
be
lot
the like ending
because
roar.
You already have Maisie being like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
So they're here. And then he's like, and now we're in the Jurassic World and we are.
And Katie would be like, yeah, I would have killed you too. I would have thrown you into that pit with all the poison
it's
gas.
just messy. It's messy bringing cloning someone. Like I know, like I get like cloning like parts of people, but like to like copycat a person, like making it maybe like if you took DNA from two humans and made like a clone of their DNA, like whatever,
that
like
wouldn't be a clone,
a new person, but you're like making the same exact person again to have another life. And like I'm like, it honestly reminds me of that movie, The Skin I Live In. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Oh God.
I find it, you're okay with the idea of cloning someone based on two people's DNA, but not one person's DNA?
No, okay, making an exact clone of someone.
Uh-huh.
Part of me is like, okay, like, let's not lie. They're already working on trying to clone organs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part to it that makes sense to me that I can see why people would want to make living organs.
If you
and
need
things
another
from
kidney,
people.
you can fucking get a
But
kidney.
then it's like, here we are in the island now, you know, like that movie with the like clones that are like just there to be harvested.
Mm-hmm.
Like it does feel weird, but then it's also like, so wait, why did he
ScarJo?
Why did he want?
He wanted his daughter back.
Yeah,
he just wants his daughter back.
Exactly. Because then you find out in the next movie, his daughter dies early of cancer.
Yeah. So that to me is the messy part.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that's like very Black Mirror, actually. Like where he's like, he's like this like independent thinker. He's like got this amazing and it's very funny because it is like this complicated part of being human where it's like, this isn't good for you. Don't try to bring her back. It's not your real daughter. And then he's like, well, now I have this new person, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see him.
He doesn't even get to like see her live, you know. Like a long time.
Oh, he doesn't get
dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna die. Like
we didn't really see him confronted by this at all.
Yeah.
Like what he has created.
Yeah.
She was purely a political piece, I feel like, to the whole thing. And but she's also like, you know, it's fun. They could have done that with any kid in the film. I would have loved to see some kind of like weird, you know how in like Game of Thrones they have like the queens with their like sons and daughter sometimes with them. Like that kid. Did you guys watch Game of Thrones? What's the queen who's got the big hole that she just drops people out of, and then that little boy from
the Erie, I know that they call that the
Robin,
and he's
Aaron.
like, drop more. Like I'm like, I would have loved to see like a billionaire and their kids, just some of the kids, like their kids add to the horror. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it would have been fun to see more billionaires.
Paul hates the children in these movies. He thinks it takes away from the movie.
I do. I find them mostly irritating.
You find them mostly irritating. I think watching kids get taken and stuff though does add to horror itself, because it's like the worst thing that could happen. And so like if there was a little kid,
I could get taken, and that would be the worst thing.
It's just a bunch of billionaires. You're also kind of like,
for me.
I would have loved like some submarine notes in there where it's like, yeah, we have all these billionaires trying to buy this like crazy dinosaur weapon, but they also brought their kids here. So now their kids are suffering. Now their kids, yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It would have been a good homage to the whole theme, but it's also in like a lot of really good horror.
But now
the kid's dragged into it, and now the kid has trauma.
We're in Jurassic World now,
or they get eaten and die. Yeah, but
did you like it as a horror movie?
I mean, the first one, the whole reason it's so good is because there's kids in it. Come on.
Disagree. I completely disagree.
No way.
That Raptor scene with the Jello, oh my God, that scared me as a kid. Did that scare you as a kid?
No.
Where they're eating food and then it's like, and I was like, oh my God.
I was only scared by religious stuff, not creature features.
Imagine the brunch being ruined by a bunch of raptors?
I was scared of Chucky.
You weren't scared of Jurassic Park at all.
No, I guess it was like it didn't like
threshold for horror is so interesting to me.
I agree with that. Yeah,
because it was like animals.
Like,
animals didn't scare
like he watches Stranger Things and he's like, but I can't do. Like, and I'm like, there's so much. Then you'd probably like Annihilation, I bet.
No.
It is.
I mean, I know about the recap with you, and I listened to you talk about it on.
I know, it's so good.
Did this age well as well?
Those books too. Okay, but.
Yeah.
So Jurassic Park. I mean, I do feel like they add a layer. If you're wanting this to be a horror, and you want to see some horror, kids are huge. It's like watching a dog die in a movie. Like it's
they put Maisie in danger in this one. She's in that bed while they're fighting.
Like a clone, so I can't look at her. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
She's not a real person.
But it is funny. It's like these. But I guess it is interesting to see these two different types of clones being like, well, I exist, so you should exist. It's kind of very. It's also kind of makes me think of like Severance with the innies, where they're like, I want to live a full life as an innie, and like, or even like Westworld. Like, it is interesting. If it were me, I'd be like, don't do any of that.
Would you go to Jurassic World if that was a real world thing?
I don't think I could go there. I'd be like,
but nothing bad had happened. I mean, you can.
There's no movie like Jurassic World.
No, there's no movie.
In the world
there's no
of
dinosaur
the park.
movies.
The park exists.
There was all that stuff in the
20 years
90s,
ago there was some bad stuff that went down. But now it's the new guy who runs it, and they haven't had any problems.
I don't think I'd go. I don't think I would want to go. You guys think you'd go?
I keep going back and forth on it, but I think the one they have in Jurassic World, that looks pretty fun.
Here's the thing. In this world, there has to be dinosaur movies, though, right? Because at that point, there's film.
Maybe documentaries, but nothing like...
Like, we remove Jurassic World as Jurassic World, but...
Maybe Disney's Dinosaur?
Yeah, there's like dinosaurs. Oh, yeah, We're Back.
Yeah, We're Back was good.
I love
We're Back. What's We're Back?
It was a DreamWorks version of...
Is that another one?
Yeah, it had John Goodman was a T-Rex.
The Land Before Time.
Land Before Time was a big one for me.
I'm like, why?
Someone told me
that so sad too. Dinosaur movies really hit you in your heart sometimes.
Yeah, well, they did the whole mother.
We're Back is sad too. She's like neglect. Like that girl's getting like truly neglected throughout the whole movie, and then
in this movie, The Fallen Kingdom,
and We're Back.
Oh,
I'm talking about why dinosaur movies are like
that one. I'm not as clear as the
Dinosaurs, the TV show, saddest ending out of most.
Not familiar as well.
They go extinct.
Really? You
I haven't seen a lot of these.
Where they're like, I don't know what's happening.
And it's the actual extinction of the dinosaurs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to.
There's a lot of dinosaur stuff where it's like sad. They use tragedy with it. Yeah.
I mean, tragedy is woven into their story.
It is. It is.
Well, that's Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, aka JP5, aka JW2.
Yeah.
Here we are at the end. Normally we rank the movies. I think we've each given our best dino action, our hold on to your butts moments, and wife takes. I realize I had not seen this one before. This was my first viewing of Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
This is totally fresh for me.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
When did it come out?
2018.
Okay, 20. Wow.
I'm going to slot this one in as my number 2 favorite behind Jurassic World. So for me, the
Paul's
rankings
ranking right now.
are...
Well, this as of yesterday when we recorded the last one, I just tell you?
Yes.
Jurassic World 1 is your number 1.
That's my favorite.
So you want Fallen Kingdom
Fallen
to be
Kingdom's coming
now
in,
your number
is
2.
now my number 2.
Fallen Kingdom. Okay. Then it's JP1, Jurassic Park 1.
The original.
Wow. Okay. Drop down to 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Jurassic Park 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Jurassic Park 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my God. Jurassic Park 1's my favorite for sure.
Well, that's the only one you can really remember. Do you want to, between these two,
May
which
or may
one?
not have seen some of the
I've
others.
seen, wait, what's the first one with Chris Pratt where she's running in the hills?
Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jurassic World. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I like
Just sit close to the mic. Yeah.
I know. I'm about to eat this. I don't want to eat this cookie in the mic.
Yeah. So mine is Jurassic Park 1, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World 1. Then it has to be Fallen Kingdom, and then Jurassic Park 2.
Fallen Kingdom's number 4.
Yes.
Interesting.
Out of the 5.
How did you feel about it overall? I don't know if I've heard your overall thoughts on Fallen Kingdom.
It was fun. I guess, I do see it as a stepping stone to the next movie.
You think
now it's hard for me to detach them as a trilogy.
Interesting.
I liked it better than I originally did when I first watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was boring at first, but it won me over in rewatches.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's funny how that is with movies.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, if you're not in the right headspace, you're not in the frame. I mean, I think I was watching it during COVID, the COVID shutdowns. It came out on Max, HBO Max. And I remember watching all of them during the lockdowns.
Oh, yeah.
So I was in a different place.
Yeah, totally.
All these dinosaurs can run free, but I can't.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I don't remember a lot of the movies I watched during lockdown.
Probably got COVID from that dinosaur.
Yeah.
Probably.
Came from a lab on that island.
The coronavirus dinosaur.
Wuhan lab.
Oh, man. How come they should make that sequel? That Jurassic Park sequel, huh?
COVID?
The lab, make it about a COVID. Make it about a pandemic. Or not. Forget it. Great.
I feel like we're going into
done,
it, though.
right?
Because they are the pandemic. They're going to be eating all these people up.
They are killing. They're going to start
hide your
killing
kids, hide
humans.
your wives.
Hide your kids, hide your
I think it's going to be kind of like, what's that movie,
here?
A Quiet Place? I never saw the prequel,
what? Okay, yeah.
But, it makes me mad because Bird Box is such a good book. And I feel like John Krasinski stole the plot from that and then made A Quiet Place. And then they put out Bird Box within the same few months. And A Quiet Place blew up because no one knew about Bird Box. It was very tragic. Such a good book. If you're looking for a good page turner of something that feels like a pandemic,
I lived it.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, you're going to get the dinosaur pandemic. That's what this is going to be. Dinosaurs going into human life.
So if I blindfold
That's
myself,
like a metaphor for a
T-Rex
pandemic.
can't see me.
What did you say? Oh, yeah.
If I blindfold myself, yeah.
It's just like a Bird Box take on it. Everyone just blind your eyes. It won't be so bad. It does look like a quick death when they're getting snatched up and the dinosaur can eat their entire body in one.
Well, in the book, they go into this a little bit. That's not the power of the jaws that kill you. It's not like they crush you in there.
They just swallow you
because
whole
the
like a dog.
jaws are only strong enough, to grab you, and they shake. The whole power's in their neck, is shaking you to break your spine or do something.
Throwing you in
Oh my
a
God,
tree.
they do
throwing
that in
you
the book. I
knocking
gotta read
over
this
a
book. It
car.
sounds pretty scary.
Yeah, they get into.
They're
The
taking
book
babies.
has a lot more horror
Book's
stuff.
pretty good.
They're
Looks
taking
good.
babies. They're shaking them around. I thought you were going to say it was the stomach acid that kills you.
Oh, they also rip. I mean, it's like a lion attack or something. Some other they will they'll disembowel you as they're eating you.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like
No,
that.
I mean, that's
to get to the
sounds awful,
soft things. Yeah.
You hope your head just gets.
I can't wait to see what Maisie does in the next one.
I can't. I'm so psyched.
We just
I'm
get
so ready for
5 more
6.
Maisies.
She just morphs into a raptor.
We just clone her in different ways.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
there we are.
Here we are at the end
Wow.
of another Jurassic
Another
Park movie.
movie. Great
Katie?
job, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for
Katie.
joining
This
us.
was fun.
Thank you for having me.
JD.
Any more plugs and where can people find you? You do a weekly show.
Yes. All my shows will be at katiebowman.rocks. Check out my album, Neurodivergent Nightmare, streaming on all of the things. And my show, I have a weekly show in Denver at Sushi High every Thursday night. Come to that. And then I also am now hosting another show, Anything But Cis Men comedy show, where the lineup is just Anything But Cis Men. Sorry, guys. But anyone can go.
I guess you'll never see me on that show.
You'll see.
No, I guess not.
But you might
Sorry,
see him in
bro.
the crowd. And you might be able to network with JD in the
Never.
crowd. But anyone's welcome. You know, it's just a protest to all these all-meal items that are coming back again, you know. But you can find information for that on my website too, or the Creepatorium's website. That's where it's at.
Cool.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. JD.
Paul, anything you want to say?
No, I think you can do the honors this time.
Hold on to your butts. Life finds a pod. Hold on to your butts is a left hand, right brain production, produced by JD Lopez.